Hey everybody, today we're talking about becoming effective managing compound interest. So I've talked a little bit about this before, investing and compound interest, inflation, all of this stuff. But today specifically, I wanted to talk about how does compound interest work in your favor. So I've got a couple examples for you. We're going to share some presentations, a couple pictures for you to really be able to see the power, the effect of compound interest. Simple interest is much different than compound interest. So simple interest is just a flat percent of whatever amount you have. So let's say you have $1,000 and it gets 5% simple interest. That would be $50 every single year. 50 bucks, 50 bucks, 50 bucks. Whereas compound interest is going to grow 5% on the money in the account. So after the first year, you have 1,050, same as the simple interest. The second year, you earn 5% of the $1,050. That ends up being $52.50 of gain. See how that works? Then the third year, you get $57.62 of growth. Again, still 5%, but it compounds year over year over year. So what does that mean for you? A couple things. Number one, if you're going to invest, you need to start as early as possible, even if it's just a small amount, because you have time for your money to grow and compound. Number two, as you are able to save more because then those compounding factors will get bigger and bigger and bigger. This is how people that have grown wealth over time have become exponentially wealthy, like a Warren Buffett, because he started early and just kept growing and kept growing. Now in his later years in life, he's one of the richest people in the entire world. If you've ever heard of the rule of 72, I think I've talked about it in previous examples. What you do, you take the number 72, you divide it by an interest rate. Whatever the answer is about how long it'll take for your money to double. So for example, let's say you get 8% return. If you have $10,000 invested, after about 9 years, that $10,000 will be worth $20,000, give or take. Now, another 9 years, that money will be worth $40,000. Did you see the difference in growth? It went from 10 to 20, but then it grew another 20. So in another 9 years, what will it be? 80,000. So that exponential growth, that compound factor, is really important when it comes to the rule of 72. So you should know that if you're thinking of saving and investing, maybe you look at a long-term return rate. If something has 5% versus something that has 8%, the biggest growth will come at the end or the later part of the investment time frame. Last thing I want to show you, this is a really cool example of Bill versus Bob. So Bill, he started saving and investing when he was 19 years old. He just invested $2,000 a year. He got 8% return. He invested at 19, 20, 21, 22, from 19 until his age of 26, and then he stopped. Now what happened is that allowed that money to compound and grow earlier. That kept going until he was 65 years old. He ended up with $1 million. Bob, he waited. He wanted to have a little bit of fun. He waited until he was 26 to start investing. He did $2,000 a year from 26 all the way until his age of 65. Who do you think ended up with more? It was Bill. Bob actually ended up with just over $800,000 because he didn't have the later years for that compound interest to grow. Now, obviously, if we would have ran the tables out a little bit further into the 70s, Bob probably would have caught up. But if you're thinking about retirement, you don't want to extend retirement too much longer. You want to actually retire and what we call celebrate your working years, right? So thinking about when you might want to retire, 62, 65, start saving now. Even if it's just a little bit, that allows that to grow and grow and grow over time to give you a better chance of likelihood of succeeding in retirement. So last thing, just check out this really cool book. It's a book called Richest Man in Babylon. I love it. One of the examples they give is that your money, when saved and invested and growing with interest, it's like its own little army. So you get a chance for your money to do work on your behalf.